Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I've got a gorgeous card for you today. It's this Power of Hope. Today is the day for new beginnings. This is the card we're going to make tomorrow at Coffee and a Card in my Chicago area home studio. If you live in the Chicago area and you're interested in Stampin' Up! Events, check out KitchenTableStamper.com/calendar. We're going to make this gorgeous card and we're going to make it in a different color combination. I want to show this beautiful Lily Impressions Designer Series paper, and it's just got such a broad color palette. I thought it'd be fun to do the card in a different palette. So our card base here is Blackberry Bliss. We're gonna do Pretty Peacock. This is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4 standard card base. And then my Designer Series papers from the Lasting Lily, or from the Lily Impressions Designer Series paper, are 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then I've got a small piece of the Lily paper. This is 1 by 2 3/4. So here are the two different patterns, same Designer Series paper. And then I've already cut from Whisper White a Stitched So Sweetly die. This is the largest label die, and it's like 2 5/16 by 3 1/2 finished cut, so you need a scrap that's big enough for that. I cut with my flourish here out of Pretty Peacock. We're gonna do that from Bermuda Bay this time. And I did my flower with Melon Mambo on this card. We're gonna do the flower with Calypso Coral this time. And then I've got a 1/2 by 2 1/4 pool party, and that's for our sentiment. All right, pool party on both versions of the card. I'm going to grab the Big Shot and the Power of Hope embossing folder. Let's texture the front of our card to start with. All right, this is the Power of Hope embossing folder. It has kind of a stone, looks like a stone path, like a flagstone path. And we are going to emboss the front of our card. So we just want to make sure that that's in there straight. Pop that through the machine. And there's our gorgeous stone texture. Isn't that cool? Like that it's kind of ambiguous too. It can be some other things, and that's pretty cool. All right, then we're going to use the Power of Hope stamp set. That's bundled up with the embossing folder, and it's available for free as a Celebration Choice Level 2 reward. It's a really gorgeous stamp set. We're gonna stamp our greeting on Pool Party. I want it a little darker. Let's flip and do again. Sometimes the first inking on a stamp could be a little darker. Yeah, that's a little better. Now, there's a free project sheet on the blog, KitchenTableStamper.com. Just follow the link if you're watching on YouTube, and the measurements for this project are there and available for you to print. I'm gonna take my little lady and I'm gonna ink up in Memento Tuxedo Black, and I'm gonna stamp both on my Designer Series paper. Make sure that you get the whole dress on the Designer Series paper. And then we're also gonna stamp her on the label. So 2 times here. I'm gonna stamp her to the right of center, so we have room for our embellishments. Okay, let's clear away the Stampin' pads and we'll color. All right, let's color our lady. I've got light and dark Pretty Peacock, light and dark Basic Black, and Ivory. For this version, I did the umbrella in Rich Razzleberry, light and dark. So I'm gonna start, just gonna swipe a little bit of Ivory to color in her skin. And then I'm going to color my umbrella, the entire thing, with the light Pretty Peacock. Now for the umbrella, I'm going to add a shadow on the bottom of the umbrella underneath her chin, behind her neck, And then I'm gonna go about 1/4 of the way up the side of the umbrella here. Then I'm gonna scribble it and combine those 2 shades using the light peacock. Just a little bit of shading. I'm gonna fill in her hair with the light basic black, and I'll fill it in almost entirely. And then I'll add a shadow, the back of her neck here, and the bottom of a bun. And then I'll bring those 2 together. So very simple coloring for her hair and umbrella. Next we're gonna fussy cut our dress. So we're going to just cut right on the line and trim out the designer series paper dress. When I'm cutting out an image, I use a small little border. When I'm paper piecing an image, I cut right on the line. We'll need some multi-purpose liquid glue, and I like to put it on the image that I'm gluing to instead of on the image that I'm gluing on. Just drop that right in. So pretty. This paper can look so different depending on which pieces you choose from the collection and depending on which places, which areas you pick up when you stamp. I'm gonna flag the end of my "Today is a Day for New Beginnings" greeting by just putting it into the tailored tag punch. Snip the end. Looks pretty good. Now for a little bit of adhesive, let's glue our designer series paper. Look at how gorgeous the back of that paper is. Such pretty paper. And we're gonna add this to the front of the card. We're gonna off-center right to left so we can see some of that gorgeous stone embossing. And then we can add our label. And that's going to be off-center to the right also, so we have room for our embellishments. And I'm going to add some mini dimensionals to the back of my greeting, but I'm not going to adhere that down quite yet. I've got a little bit more stamping and some die cutting to do here. Let's slide these to the side. I have Calypso Coral Stampin' Pad, Calypso Coral cardstock, and my Stampin' Pierce mat. I'm going to take the flower from Thoughtful Blooms, and I'm going to ink up with Calypso Coral and stamp on Calypso Coral. All right, I'm going to take my small bloom punch. This is another celebration item. I love this little 5-petal flower. We're going to punch out that stamped image. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to stamp the texture on the other side of the flower too. Then we're going to take our little flower and fold 2 petals up, making it more dimensional. You see that? All right, we need our big shot again. We're going to cut the leaf image next, and this die is from the Flourish dies. We're going to cut this gorgeous detailed leaf. Let's get the big shot again. Here's our Bermuda Bay cardstock and our leaf from Flourish. Let's go ahead and crank that dude through. And when I do these gorgeous detailed cuts like this, I leave whatever stays in and leave whatever falls out. Now you could do whatever you like with this leaf. You can pop out all those little negative spaces if you like, but I don't. I like the randomness of whatever stays and whatever falls out. See, so there's the pretty peacock one where I did the same thing. I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay leaf and add just a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on the back. And we're going to glue it to the card at a slight little angle. so that some of it is on the label and some of it is on the little stone path, you see, and just burnish that down. Now here's our greeting with the little mini dimensionals, and we'll adhere that so that it crosses all the panels. It's on the label, it's over the designer series paper, it's off onto the card base, but not over the fold. Now here's our beautiful Calypso coral flower with all that dimension. We stamp both sides. Let's add it with multi-purpose liquid glue. Just tuck the very edge underneath your greeting. Just that fold goes right underneath. We still want it to lift and show that gorgeous dimension that we worked in there. Now we need a little sparkle. I've got my rhinestone basic jewels here. I'm going to take your pick tool. Let's add a little bling, should we? I'm going to take a medium sized one and a little one. Put another little one. There it is, 2 different color palettes, same designer series paper, 2 gorgeous cards. All right, if you've got questions about today's project or classes in the Chicago area, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com, and to shop Stampin' Up 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.